All right. Well, good afternoon, STLP. This is Matt Crestline, joined by Jeff Sobolski, our chief STLP enthusiast, and our Soki Robot Royale line follow challenge lead, Mr. Adam Vincent, our friend from Warren County, digital learning coach. He is, again, our line follow challenge lead, and he's going to walk us through what makes the line follow challenge awesome.
All right, thanks, Matt and Jeff. So Robot Royale line follow challenge. You can find the rubric here on the Discovery Hub. You can also find that on the super sheet, but it is a live challenge. So let's only see those and should be down here towards the bottom for Robot Royale line follow challenge. So got just a little description here. It is a team event and we only allow one team per school, and broken up into different grade levels. And it is a prepped and ready. So this is something that you are preparing. Your students are getting going there at school, and then they come and compete. We will, depending on how many people sign up for this event, we will have a schedule to send out. So everybody will have a very specific time to come. But I just kind of want to go through our rubric and then see if there's any questions at the end, maybe show you some examples of some coding there here at the end too. So there is my email. If you have any questions about our event, please feel free to email me, adam.vincentwarren.kyschools.us. So the objective of our competition is to have your robot. It does need to be a Spike Prime, an EV3 Mindstorm, or if you still are holding on to some of those NXT robots, we'll allow it if you can code it to follow a line. So it has to use a line sensor to follow the line, and the fastest time possible wins. Each team will have three official runs on the course, and we take the fastest time of those three so they could completely bomb it on the first try. And we even give some practice time in between. I'll show you how that works. But um, even if they completely blow it on the first one, they may have the fastest time of the day on their third event, on their third run, and they win. So again, only one team per school, and we do ask that it is only student-led work. So a little bit about the robot, the building of the robot, and some different programming rules that we have here. So again, most people have the Spike Prime robots. I have seen students try to bring a Spike Essential, and there's also a different kit, like a home version. The home version will work, but the Spike Essential will not. There's not enough ports to have two motors and a sensor. So do not use the Spike Essential, but Spike Prime will work. And again, the Lego Mindstormer NXT will work as well. We do check it at the very beginning, make sure it can fit in a 12-inch by 12-inch box. There is no height restriction. I don't think there's any kind of benefit in building a super tall robot. You're just driving and following a line. Only Lego pieces, no glue or other bonding elements. There are Lego rubber bands, and so that's kind of fun. Not really needed for our competition, but as long as it is a Lego piece, it'll work. You do have to use a sensor. So some teams just use one. A lot of teams will use two. I've seen four. I don't know if there's a benefit in that or not, but it is possible to use more than one sensor. It does have to run autonomously. You can't Bluetooth anything. It needs to already be coded. So those codes can be downloaded to the hub, and then they hit the button on the robot, and that's what starts the robot going. And that's right here. Yeah. So runs must be started by manually pressing the robot. Bluetooth starts not permitted, but they do need to bring their device, whether it's a Chromebook or an iPad. Bring that device with you because there are practice tables between runs, and they can tweak their program at those practice tables. But again, when they're on their actual table for the competition, um, has to be pressed from the on the robot. So make sure that robot's fully charged. It is a prepped and ready event again, so make sure your students have all of this coded before they come. All right, course specifications. So this is about what the table looks like. That line is not the line that we use. It's just kind of showing you for an example. It's a semi-reflective black vinyl surface is what we use, and the path for the line is 7/8 a 7/8 inch semi-reflective white line. So it's just a vinyl mat with a line. So something that I've seen schools use to practice is just the black bulletin board paper with white electric tape. That seems to work really well. Depend on how you have the robot coded, if you're doing it by color or reflected light intensity. Um, You'll want to have your students check those numbers there at the competition, and we will have 2 calibration mats available, and I'll talk about that here in a minute too. But also, while you're practicing, all turns on the course will not have anything less than 120 degrees. So get out your protractor, put out the line, and maybe put one at like 120 and see how your robot does. And again, this is not the exact course. That's just to kind of show you an example. So we do have some laser starters kit. So for the beginning and ending, so your robot needs to start here. Um, it's best if you have your sensor towards the front of your robot. They press the button, it's going through, and then when it breaks the sensor here at the end, we will have their time. So competition day up at Rupp Arena in the robot room. Make sure just again you will have a specific time, but arrive a little bit early, about 10 minutes early to check in. We had some teams check in like 2 hours before their competition time. That's not needed. We don't need you to come way before and then come back. Just come a little bit before your actual competition time, and then we will get you in kind of an on deck area and then get you in to compete. If there is by chance the students that are competing in this one have something else going on at the same time, please email me once that schedule gets out, and we will try to move things around as well as we can. So the team, you can have up to 5 students on the team, but we ask that only 2 students actually go through the course and come to the table. Gets crowded when we got several students in that area. So just two student drivers. And here's kind of how it will go. So you go into the check-in table. You've got run one on the first table, and then there is a little practice table where they again bring your iPad, bring your Chromebook, whatever it is you coded. You got about 2 or 3 minutes to adjust code if you want to, and then you don't have to, you can. And then they have a run 2, another practice tweak, and then a run 3. So I mentioned the calibration mats. That's new for this year. So outside of the competition area, it's not really, I don't want to call it a practice table. It's not a time for students to come and try to get their code working or making anything better. It's really calibration mats. So they can put their robot on there with the light sensor and see how it works in that room. So every room is different. The lighting is different. We understand that. So we added some calibration mats. And so here's kind of what the room will look like. You'll come in. It's in a giant robot room. If you haven't been there before, it's awesome. We got Sumo Bot is on one side to us. There's other robot competition next to us on the other side. But you'll check in at the table again, just about 10 minutes before your competition time. No need to come in earlier. You'll run through table 1, and then you get a little practice. Table 2, practice. Table 3, and then you're done. You don't ever have to come back. It's just your time there, and you're done. So we will have again 2 calibration mats outside of the area. Um, to do just that. Again, it's not a practice time, it's not a code time. It's just making sure your sensor works in that area. Scoring. So we got first in place for elementary, middle, and high school. Fastest time wins, but if you do have to reset your robot, so if your robot stops following the line, and we have I've got this highlighted. If your robot comes completely off the white line, the judge at that table will deem it that it's stopped following the line. Students will need or the judge will tell the student to pick up the robot, and they have to place it back on the line where it came off. And then so every time a student touches it or the robot goes off the line, we do add a 5-second penalty. And so that's a really quick overview of our competition. Are there, Matt, Jeff, were there any questions that came up during that? I do want to show a couple more things, but just as far as the rubric and rules. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, no questions so far.
All right, great. Beginning teams and even maybe teams that have been doing this for a while, I want to show you. So spike.legoeducation.com. This is where you go to code your Spike Prime. There's a unit here that can get you started. It's great. So if we go into unit plans and then competition ready, a lot of these things get students ready for first Lego League, but there is a training camp number 3, reacting to lines. And there are even instructions on how to build just this basic robot. So you got your robot, you got your light sensor going down. I click here, it gives you the build instructions, just like regular Lego pieces. But it's got the code right here for you, that shows, kind of gets the students kind of figuring out how to interact with lines. So use this as a starting point. Maybe eventually figure out how you can make two light sensors work. And so the robot's not doing this back and forth motion as much, but it's going nice, straight, smooth motion following that line. All right, I think that's it. If there were no other questions, gives you an overview of our competition, gives you a great place to start. So that spike.legoeducation.com, follow the units and competition ready. It'll get them going. So I'll even go through this code just a little bit. This first one, there's instructions, but it says driving base will move forward and stop when it detects the line. So it's good to have set movement motor, set movement speed. It's going to go forward, wait until it sees that black color, and then it's going to stop on the black line. So this is not really the line follow, but it's just a getting you started. But this one right here, this forever loop, and inside of there is that if then. So if it sees black, it's going to move right. If it doesn't see black, it's going to go left. So what the robot's going to do, it's going to follow that line, and it's just going to go back and forth all the way around that line. But the trick is to find the right speed and the right degree of turn to get it going as fast as possible.
Speed to 100 is not necessarily the greatest plan to start off with.
That's what they'll want to do, but it might go off the line if that happens.
All right. Well, we appreciate you hopping on and telling us about that. We will be putting this link to this webinar on the line follow rubric, as well as in our quick shots library on YouTube and our quick shots website. Thank you guys. And this is David Vance for hopping on, also digital learning coach on Adam's team here in Warren County. We appreciate you guys hopping on and telling us about your challenge.
Yeah, thank you for having us. And again, if anybody watched this have questions, feel free to email me.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, gang.